Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Cool.
There
Duh. That's the one.
Duh.
There you
I can't do shit, but I know I want to. Maybe if we talk about it, I'll find shit to do. I got a brain somewhere and you got one too. Da-ba-da-da, something, something to be fucking do.
All right.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, great. Brexit. Something.
I'm great.
Yeah.
Fair enough, Steve. You right? Yeah.
Yeah. Doing all right.
Yeah, it's alright. Been alright week. Been weird weather, but it's been alright.
Has it been weird?
Yeah, it's like sometimes it's warm,
Yeah.
and then it's just not. And then it's warm, and it's not.
Yeah. Well, that's just Britain, isn't it?
Don't know.
Huh.
I never thought it would jump so high.
Yeah.
Like part laziness, part genius. I started using my car as a fridge. And like sometimes recently it hasn't worked. No, just leave it outside. Leave stuff like I don't need to bring my shopping.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Because it's a fridge.
Because it's cold outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like they've had like milk in there and stuff like that, and it's like recently it's become more of a problem.
Yeah.
And that's the real issue with climate change. So I can't use my car as a fridge anymore. I have to bring in all my stuff.
Well, really, that kind of climate changes every year.
Can you use it as an oven in a couple of months' time? I guess.
Yeah. Kill a few dogs in there.
Yeah.
You're not obligated to.
No, it don't have
But
to.
if you wanted to. Dogs, babies.
It's good to have the option. Babies,
Yeah.
Kill the babies. Kill all the babies. But yeah, fun week. We're at a bit of a rough week, just busy-wise, and then I've just been doing stuff.
Yeah.
But it's been quite nice. Like I've been trying to talk to other podcasts and see if there's anything else that would be quite cool. So found some fun episodes, found some not fun episodes that are just like
other people's?
it's just trying to get to know everybody. Like I've been trying to social media, and I think I finally kicked into now I'm social mediaing, and it's like so now let's try have some conversations with some people, and there's people out there who just like me who like fuck off. All right, yeah, fair enough. But hey, do you want to let's create something together? Like no. All right, fair enough. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But it's just weird being. There's a reason that I hibernate away from society quite a lot. I think it's just one. It attracts too much problems for me in the real world. Anyway, there's a lot of people who I'm not necessarily on the run from.
Yeah.
But like, if they knew I existed, they'd start interacting with me a bit more. So I tend to be a bit more like under the covers and don't exist. But social media, like podcast, like, hey, how's it going? Hey, you're still alive. Why don't we? Where do you live? Oh, hey, how's it going? Like trying to make deals with
I'm
like
so glad you
stalkers.
could join us on this turbulent mission.
Yeah, why not retweet and subscribe? That'd be great.
Especially you.
Yeah, I don't want anyone in my life, which is weird because it's not just one person. If you're listening, it's not you. There's
Probably is.
quite genuinely, there's quite a lot of people. There's more than a dozen people who when they discover I'm online, they're like, "Oh, hey, how's it going? Want to do this? Want to do that?" Like, leave me alone. So yeah, been weird trying to get them to subscribe. Yeah, I'm like, get the numbers.
Yeah,
we need
you
promotion.
are but a dot on a screen
with a knife to my throat.
Yeah, but we love you all.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that side of it as well, and then there's also just personally, I just think like I am deep down a very happy-go-lucky man.
Yeah, but
I'm not. It takes a while to mine through all the anger and hatred and pain to get there. So like I said before, in here when we're chatting, I've come across quite jovial. I think very nice, relaxed, and calm. Yeah. But as soon as we start seeing me in public, I think people are gonna be like, he's different out in public.
The Earth's core is bright and vivacious and molten and warm.
Yeah.
But the outer layer is just millions of years of death. And, and shit.
Yeah.
Literal shit.
Yeah, and it's just trying to, like, first impressions with people. Online as well, as you said, you've come across quite cold. I think I just don't communicate as well.
I make no effort to change that either.
Yeah, but it's even, like, face-to-face, because I've tried to, I've been...
Even you were, like, today, you're like, has your attitude changed, towards this? whole thing that we're doing.
Yeah.
No, I'm just no.
No, I'm just redundant. Fair enough.
Yeah.
He's got more things in his box than I think I have at the moment. But yeah, in terms of with this kind of having a good effect on my soul,
Yeah.
I've been out and about a little bit more, seeing more, going out to more events and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just to be fun and be more social. And then, just talking to normal people. I mean, I spoke to some, and, just talking with real people, normal people.
Yeah.
I'm always constantly reminded that, like, you don't get... Not that you don't get me, but, like, we're working on different wavelengths. Mine isn't better than yours. It's just not as accepted. Because I said before, like, I'm trying to do a bit more stand-up, and the issue that I've got with when I do stand-up is because I spent years, when I was on stage, it was in an acting capacity, in very bad quotes, amateur acting, that kind of thing. But I was always a rapist or a paedophile or a domestic abuser. So whenever I go on stage, just that energy naturally comes out. So I'm like, knock, knock, and it's me. And everyone's just like, jeez, Chris, what's going on? It's meant to be a nice night.
Always appropriate, Nick.
Yeah. But I used to use it as a dumping ground for my anger.
Yeah.
Which was great when playing dark roles and evil roles and all that kind of stuff. It is a character that makes sense, that is quite demonic. So my angry gorilla demon could walk around on stage raping, domestic violencing and paedophiling as much as he wanted. And people were like, that's great.
Paedophiling is a verb.
That made sense within the
It's
character.
a doing word.
It's not descriptive. One paedophiled across the road.
There it goes.
Watch out!
Yeah.
He's paedophiling.
Yeah. Stay away from the nursery.
So, like, the thing that I've got on stage is my immediate stage presence is I'm quite big, and I've gotten too much into the habit of getting into that, working with that energy to be quite big and powerful with it. And on stage, people were just, in stand-up comedy, people were just like, all right, ha.
Yeah.
So I've got to try and change that up.
Bullying them into laughing.
Yeah, but it's just, it's just my natural, that confidence that comes on doesn't quite fit, at least right now, with my material. Now my material is about strangling women.
That seems like it
it feels like it would fit, but it doesn't feel like a comedy set. It feels like a monologue. I can't remember what episode it was, but I went over how, I kind of realised, I think I know what I want to first talk about in a stand-up comedy sense. And that was, I get into a lot of stupid situations that some might call irresponsible. I just call exciting, where I just end up in, potentially life-threatening situations because of stupidity. But it's always because I'm just too polite, and that's genuinely the reason.
Yeah.
Like, I spoke about a one-night stand where I went to their house. I didn't know who they were. They thought they knew me. Turns out they were just crazy. And, going through their house, walking through pictures of them posing with nobody, just like imaginary friends, and I'm like, at least it's nice, isn't it? And I'm just trying to be polite the whole way through until suddenly my dipshit like survival instincts kicking. No, you need to get out now.
Yeah.
But it's all because of just being too polite, and I think that's genuinely the reason why. It's never like, I'm going to get a story out of this. It's like, no, I don't want to be rude to the mass murderer.
Yeah.
Or the paedophile or whatever it is. And one of those is, I think I used to have just strangled a lot of women out of politeness because that's what they've wanted in a sexual capacity, and it's never been a thing for me in any way. I've always done it out of politeness, and it always felt strange. So now it's like, I'll start up. That's my New Year's resolution this year, is to be like, if they ask
strangling women.
Yeah, even if they are, when they ask. And there's no judgment. Everyone's into whatever they want.
Yeah.
Like I kind of am interested in having sex with a Santa Claus, a female Santa Claus, but a female
still with a beard.
Yeah, a female Santa Claus dressed up who thinks that they are a male Santa Claus, but they're a female Santa, but they're a female.
Yeah.
In that situation. But so everyone's into their own weird little, and I just think it would be funny if they're fully committed to the bit. So long as it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I think that's my need. I find funny attractive in all different ways.
Yeah.
So it's just like, if it's trying to be sexy and in a hilarious way, that's hilarious. So that's like, oh yeah, this is way more entertaining than anything. Oh, happy birthday, Mr. President, I'm in a cake. Like, okay. Why was that ever a thing? Oh, I was in a cake.
It makes a good profile picture, I guess.
Yeah, but like that was a big thing, wasn't it? Like, oh, what's her name?
Stripper in
Marilyn,
the cake. Marilyn Monroe.
Monroe. She was in a cake.
She's not a stripper. But
No, but she was
that
in a
became
cake.
a thing.
She was in a cake.
Was she? No,
She came out of the cake for
Did she come out of a cake?
I think so.
I just thought she sang "Happy Birthday" in the way that she sings. Which
She didn't
is
sing it
not
from a
very
cake?
well.
Birthday cake.
I didn't think she came from a cake. I might be wrong.
Someone did.
I thought she just sang "Happy Birthday" to the president.
Oh, maybe she did.
Happy birthday. Shut up.
Stop it. Yeah, I always thought she came out of a cake. But someone did, and that was a thing for a while. And I've never understood that.
I always saw it
aspect.
in films where they they bring a big cake in, like
Yeah.
massive, and then a half-naked woman comes out of it.
Yeah, or the Addams Family accidentally cooks her, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the thing. And I've just never understood that. And then stuff like, you see, like, what was it, Instagram model-esque women I've never found attractive in any way. It's always just like, look how the world is. Like, okay,
Yeah.
weird. Just again, I've gone through it, and I thought I'd be more perverted than I am. When I
Yeah.
was younger, I thought I was going to be like, oh yeah, you go and do these things. I think it's just the hormones talking or whatever.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, I just want some happiness.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't want to strangle you.
Yeah.
Please.
No, just plain vanilla sex penetration.
I mean, he's innocent, right? But yeah, it's just, I think I've just gotten to that point now. But I mean, I'm a romantic, as I've said, as I've
Many
proven.
times
Yeah.
for years.
Yeah, which I do you believe that, Steve?
Sure.
Yeah,
I said that shaking my head.
Yes, I do.
That was involuntary.
And I think I'm a classic, a 90s romantic or a zeros romantic. You've seen that? There's a Netflix film.
You're Hugh
called-
Grant.
No. He was 90s zero romantic, like
Yeah.
Notting Hill.
Yeah.
Bumbling moron who wears a scuba mask to the movies.
Yeah, that guy.
No, Sylvester Stallone.
That's more like your kind of thing.
Yeah, but like musical romantic. I guess that's what it is.
Okay.
Very Oliver Twist.
Like Gaston.
Yeah, like Oliver Twist with that guy who, beats and murders his wife. That kind of musical happiness. That's... But yeah, I've covered, beds in rose petals before. Met people.
Was
at the
anyone
airport.
joining you in them, or was it just for you?
Just someday, though. If you build it, they will come.
Or they'll smell the roses. Wake up and smell the roses.
Bees! It's the bees! No, but yeah, I did. I reenacted. What's that? Love Actually.
Yeah.
Who's that? There's an
not
Andrew.
with the cards.
I did that when I was 16. I faked my grandmother's death so that
how
I could
romantic.
do that. Yeah, I was 16 and my girlfriend at the time was like, do you want to come round? So I'm like, I can't, my great grandma's dead.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, it's sad. And then I was just at her house with cards,
Yeah.
just like, and there was a thing, there was a thing that when we were 16, when you see a yellow car, you punch each other in the face.
Punch buggy. Yeah,
Yeah,
that thing.
we had a thing because we were an adorable couple. We'd kiss each other every time we saw a yellow car. Or what was it, a beetle? It was like, oh, yeah, we're such a loving couple.
It seems like that's brought you such joy even now.
No! It's just one of the many things that has resulted in the person I am today.
Great.
I've done that, and now I look back on it and scream.
So it's really good that happened.
Yeah, and so I was sat there and with the signs, and one of them was like, "Oh, look, it's a yellow car," and that was the climactic.
And then
thing
you hit her in the face.
And then I ran away because I think in the film it's all about how that guy is in a loveless, endless stalker relationship where like he's in love with her but she's dating his
she's
mate
married
or
to
something.
his best friend.
Yeah, so he like runs away and we
Keira
have that whole
Knightley
running
and-
away thing.
yeah.
That kind of thing. So I've done, and as much as I don't, necessarily have a soul, I think that the romantic stuff hits. Apart from what's that? Isn't It Romantic? This Netflix show that's
I've not watched.
Film.
I've seen the trailer for it. The Rebel Wilson thing.
yes,
Is it
yeah. Did you like the trailer?
I haven't seen it with sound, but
Better.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, like she's
weird
one of those things where it's just like I get why people find you funny. I just don't.
Yeah. I just love comedy. I just love laughter.
Yeah.
So it's like, the most attractive thing can be is comedy. So
Yeah.
and romantic comedies when done properly, I think can be really fun. But when they're just like,
Well, it's just comedy.
it's like
It doesn't
failure
really
to
matter
launch.
why it's funny.
Yeah.
It just matters that it is funny.
I Feel Pretty. It was like Amy Schumer. She hits her head and wakes up believing she's attractive and does that. I went and saw that as a romantic comedy with a partner at the time, and it was like, it works. It was kind of okay.
Yeah.
So that means I'm a romantic, Steve. Flowers, yellow car, punch her in the face, and run away.
I think I remember seeing like Shallow Hal. I've only ever seen that one once, and that was at the cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like,
And it was like Gwyneth Paltrow, except she was massive, but she wasn't.
But Tony Robbins hypnotized Jack Black.
Oh, it was Tony. I don't even remember Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins and Jack Black got stuck in an elevator.
Right.
And
yeah.
Jack Black was all like, I'm not going to date any fat chicks.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Tony
yeah.
Robbins was like, real beauty's on the inside. And then suddenly Jack Black was,
Yeah.
he saw the
I
world
didn't know it was
differently.
Tony Robbins. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he hypnotizes him, and then like
It breaks.
yeah.
And then,
The only thing I remember is them rowing across a lake or something, and because she was massive,
Right.
like it weighed the boat up, but you
All
couldn't
this kind of
tell,
stuff.
so it just looked odd.
Yeah. But yeah, I am a romantic, so that's why I would strangle the one, as I've said before.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's like
You'll do it for love.
exactly to express love.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that's I think the real through line to my way of thinking is, one, I was concerned about all my stories being a bit laddish and be like, ooh, but actually I'm just too polite. I need to not be. And I think the funniest thing for me in that example is, one, you shouldn't be strangling people anyway. too much liability, but safe space, people exploring their sexuality, all for it.
Yeah.
But even me going, no, I shouldn't. I mean, the reason that I ran out of that psycho's house with the one eye was because I didn't want to. I thought they were going to kill me. I didn't think they were going to kill me. I just thought they killed people. No one can kill me. not even Western medicine. I was just like, I don't want to be dealing with the hassle of all of the paperwork involved in this.
Yeah.
So I just ran away. But as I was running away, I was thinking, they're disabled. Am I being ableist or something? But it's like, no, they're fucking. They got one eye, yes, coincidentally, probably because one of their victims clawed it out. But like, there's locks on the outside of all these doors, and it's just not. Your survival instinct is kicking in, so you're okay to attack this person. But at the same time, everyone's going, maybe I should be polite and be like, oh no, it's like, yeah, go on, cut me a little bit, and then move on. Just that part of my brain just keeps on going on. So when I was like, yeah, don't strangle women, that seems to make sense. But then my brain automatically goes, yeah, but if it's for love,
Yeah.
you would.
Maybe a bit.
Yeah, you just be like, it's just, if that's for love and that's what if you meet the love of your life and that's their thing and you're going to say no because I don't want to be polite anymore. It's like, that's a weird reason to lose love. People put up so many barriers when it comes to love anyway.
Yeah.
It's got to be Asian. It's got to be 30 plus. It's got to earn a certain amount of money.
That was always a thing when I was younger where everyone was like, well, what's your type?
Yeah.
And I think that's gotten less for me as I've gotten older. I guess because I'm married, so people can tell what my type is. But I think it might just be a thing is like as you get older, your type you suddenly realise it's actually quite broad, and there isn't really a type.
Well, probably when you're growing up, your type, you're actually looking for the type of person that you would associate with. You're really looking for the person that would match you.
Well, you found someone that or maybe you've seen someone, you're like, I find this person attractive, therefore anybody that looks like this, I will find attractive. That is my type.
Yeah. Well, I had a whole thing about, like, I think when I was 11 or something, I remember being in a kiss chasey kind of scenario with a girl at my school, and I remember at that moment something triggering in my brain, and it's now apparent to me that that person is now my type.
Right.
Not 11-year-olds, but she was she wasn't the most delicate, fragile person. We were just wrestling around in a house, and it was like, I kind of like, a confident person, a load of things just go like, this seems to make sense. And my earliest memory of having those realizations was around 11, and that probably makes sense as you're growing up. Your body goes, you need to mate with something. What's around that? Okay. And they're just like, right, that's what it is. And people just have they just happen at different weird moments, I think. Which is why some people, like certain types or are into certain things.
Yeah.
Apparently, I've said this so many times now, but I think the the foot fetish thing is apparently meant to be like your mother used to be barefooted walking around, so you have an association with bare feet.
Oh, right.
So it's like it's meant to be one of those things, and I reckon again that's just one of those things that when you're walking around, your brain just goes, boom, that's a thing now, which isn't the best system.
No.
Because I've had that with deja vu, where like I keep on having deja vu whenever I have the most horrifically, frighteningly violent thoughts. And deja vu is like you're emailing your short-term memory back to your long-term memory for storage,
it's something...
and it's taking everything right now with it.
What the fuck was that?
Exactly. So you're just like, oh, I can't wait to kill again. Whoop. No, that's part of me now. Don't want it to be me. It happened so many times, and I was like, oh well, this is just how it is. That's just how people become people. Just random autosaves of their life just becomes part of it. You know, when you can't go back in a game anymore because like you can't do that. This is
You've
just
made
you
so
now.
many fuck ups, and you keep like Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, and then it just stops working.
Nope.
It's like, ah.
Oh, no.
Come back as far as I can.
That's what deja vu and sexual realization is. In wanting to do stand-up comedy stuff, because I think that's what I want to talk about. I just need to try and... The joke in it is trying to rationalize something insane, strangling, by justifying what it is and how it's useful and why it should be done, but then saying why you want to stop because it doesn't work, but then also having the caveat of, well, so obviously never means never, you have to do it for love, and that's how that is a genuine way that love could express itself.
Yeah.
But because if you add rape energy into it, it just becomes a bit, oh my God.
Is this still love?
Yeah, but it definitely is.
Yeah.
It's just the problem with stand-up is, well, the thing that stand-up is, for me, is like a first impression of somebody at a house party. So if you come in with a rapist's energy and talk about strangling women, like if that was like, hi, this is Mike. Hi, I'm Mike. Listen, I don't want to strangle anymore, okay? You'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, you wouldn't be like, I would.
Oh, classic Mike.
I'd react that way, but I don't think the general public would. But I can't, if I come out across like, hi guys, how's everything going?
Yeah.
I think that comes across more crazy.
It's trying to find like a gateway nick.
Yeah, well, it's trying to figure out the best way to portray an idea is basically what it is.
Yeah.
And the idea is you need to, of not doing something that many people seem crazy, but you think is fine, i.e. strangling, but always being open to love. That's the idea.
Yeah.
Is you want to stop being polite to people, but you don't want to mean that stops love. And that's the idea. It's a nice idea. But because of me, it's surrounded by dark clouds of lightning. But part of the good thing about the doing this podcast a bit more is a lot of those juices are flowing a little bit more. Like I get my fix at the moment from the podcast. Yeah. So like going up in a comedy competition is kind of no biggie before. But before I'd be like, it's really important that I do this really well and I do this and I do that. And now it's like, I'd quite just like to piss about with it, to be fair. Yeah. So I think that's quite a nice place to be in to do that.
Yeah.
So going to a few more of those and just talking to some normal people is just like, I can't, it's a weird connection as well. Like, I just think in a different way. I live in a different world. Where the most funny thing, I keep on, and I was telling people about the podcast. I'm like, we like podcasts. What kind of podcast do you do? Oh, there's that young couple that lost a newborn baby, and the hospital just gave it to them so they could drive it around and push it on the swings. That was the moment I knew what kind of podcast this was the podcast that we're doing. I was like, that's definitely a pulling teeth article. Like a young grieving couple pushing a dead fetus on a swing, letting it go down the slide, and the world's like. But people, unless it's someone unless it's me, they're just like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's kind of funny though, right? To quote Bill Burr and talk to his therapist.
No, it's really horrific.
It's like, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. So trying to get to talk to more people, trying to be more social media savvy. It's just an odd journey, but it's definitely a journey that has started.
Yeah,
So I'm interested to see how it goes.
I think it feels like a kind of snowball thing. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's getting to a point now where it's like, okay, we can't stop. Like it's just, we just can't. And,
but just for
that's
fun
not
wise,
a problem.
Yeah, for the fun
Like
wise aspect of it.
that's good. It's good to have that drive and that motivation.
Well, I mean, because we had a talk to you a little bit before the podcast, and I was like, I've been talking to you more. Is that okay? I've just been having ideas and been like sending a message. Oh, well, this sounds quite cool. I had this idea, and you've just been like, yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine. I'm like, yeah, but it just because I don't talk that much. I'm just getting more responses, which is more data to.
Where is the fanfare?
I sent you a minute-long clip because I get this. I'm starting to think more and more that I've got some kind of mental disorder.
Oh yeah,
yeah, yeah. As in, I noticed we had an episode where when your camera cut out. Right, and so it was just me for like 5 minutes, and I realised that I do it intentionally anyway, but I don't make eye contact for too long. Yeah, because I believe I might be intimidating.
I'm the same way.
So like, but that video was like Steve's talking, and I'm just like looking, just avoiding eye contact, and I'm just like, oh, maybe that is actually a thing. Maybe that version of autism is trying not to put the fear in people. I don't know, but that's what I was doing. I've noticed the typing's gotten worse. Yeah, but I think my diabetes has gotten much worse. I'm starting a weird experimental drug trial next week.
Christ,
that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to like inject myself with all this weird shit. So we'll see what happens with that. Maybe that'll clear everything up. Yeah. Maybe then I'll make eye contact.
Yeah. And I'll have to do all this on my own. Right.
But I sent you a clip and one of the other things that keeps on happening is I get the beginning of songs stuck in my head. Yeah. I can't get it loose for a while. And last one took 3 months for me to figure it out. Oh, eventually I figured it out.
I can't. And you've told
Hollywood
me many
swinging.
times now.
That took me. I started playing it before a podcast. I just started playing. I was like, "Oh, this is a riff. What's this the riff to?" 3 months later, I finally found it. Yeah. So I had another one of those things where I was like, "Oh, yeah," and I'll play it to Steve. Sent you a minute-long audio to play the little bits and explain to you about it. You listened to 10 seconds of it.
I listened until I got what it was, and then sent you.
The rest of this is nothing.
I didn't even know.
It's comedy gold, Steve. I've sent you a clip.
I listened to it afterwards.
Yeah, and you're like, oh yeah, this is actually it makes sense. But it's just check this out. Oh yeah, no, that's it. Oh okay.
It starts with a G and then an F. Yeah, shut up.
Shut the fuck up. I've got it. It's fine. It's been social media and trying to get a few more creative stuff going. Yeah, it's going to be fun, and come up with a few different ideas for the podcast, and we're trying to play around with because I think just more ideas going to come to me to be like, it'd be fun to do this, and the only thing standing in its way is my own understanding of how to do things. So learn something, read something. Okay, maybe this will work. Yeah. But there has been some cool news stuff this week as well, which you can go into. Trying to limit the amount of news stuff.
I've realised I've been an absolute complete shut-in as far as news goes for weeks now. I just stopped because I found I was going for a long time. I was going down that like kind of political trail where it's just like I would read a headline and be like, "That's fucking irritating," and then like go into it and then purposely find people who disagreed with it and be like, yeah, I agree with this guy and this is the hill I'm gonna die on. And then and it was just it just starts taking over your life. And and eventually I'm just like, I'm ignoring all news. If the Queen died, I could tell you now that I have no idea.
Yeah I think there's a big thing about that. I mean, I was speaking to people about there's topics that we don't cover on the podcast, certain like big news items, and it's not because we don't want to talk about them. It's just I think genuinely neither of us give a shit. Yeah, and it's just like something big's happening. Yeah, but it's kind of the same thing that's been happening for years. So let's just move on with it. So there's a lot of big news stuff that I think we kind of just filter out anyway now as well. Yeah, but especially if you're kind of actively avoiding it. But maybe you missed it. A father turned up at a school with a loaded AK-47 after his son FaceTime him crying.
Dad of the year.
Turned up to school with a loaded AK-47. My kid's crying. What the fuck's going on? Christopher Freeman admits he was upset, but he didn't intend to harm anyone. Why have you brought a gun?
We have a problem with school shootings.
I've got to come inside. If you're upset, we get it. We can see the gun. But if you don't intend to hurt anyone, why have you brought a gun?
Well, yeah, and like, what is it not? Like, are you that? Do you have so little confidence in your own abilities, like in a fist fight, that you don't think you could take out a 6-year-old or however old they are?
No, kids these days.
No, I
they
need
play a lot of
to. Like,
Fortnite.
I'm worried about how many kids are gonna hate my son at the same time, and I need to be able to take them all out
He's
at
to be able
once.
to shoot them all down. Not just with quick-witted banter, but with like 7.62
No,
millimeter.
it's not enough to break their spirit. I need to break their parents' hearts.
Yeah, police say he turned up at Bear Lakes Middle School in West Palm Beach and started making death threats. Didn't intend to hurt anyone.
No. I didn't mean it.
Towards, whilst demanding to speak to his son. A school resource officer alerted the law enforcement after seeing what he thought was a large handgun sticking out of his trousers. It was an AK-47.
Let me speak to my son!
Yeah.
Sir, it's a school, not a prison. Here is your son.
He's probably in class. Why
Hiding from the madman with the gun!
Hiding from the shooter. Police said that he seemed visibly upset and was screaming, "You're going to need more than what you got because of what I got."
His son?
No, sorry, the gunman.
Fuck off,
He's
Dad.
a gunman that hasn't shot anything. He also said, "I want to see the guy who slammed my son. I've got something for him."
Slammed him?
So, yeah, he got a FaceTime from his kid.
How
his
old
kid was
is
crying.
the kid? Like, what kind of school are we talking?
Well, it
we
must
know?
be younger than 16. Middle school.
Oh, I don't even know what
Middle
that is. That's like
school,
11,
primary?
12,
Yeah,
I think.
probably. High school would be called high school, and
Yeah.
middle probably comes before high, doesn't it? So high, I'd probably middle. So I'd probably say probably 14 and younger,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Well, it's worth an AK-47.
Need a gun to take out a 14-year-old.
That he said he carries the firearm with him at all times for protection. He just forgot he had it on him. An AK-47 down his trousers.
Just
AK-47's like that
carrying
big.
it. Yeah. Like, strapped to his ankle. Why aren't you bending your leg?
Because it'll shoot my kneecap off. He told ABC News that he is looking for any security video from the school, saying there were allegations about his child being hit. So
Okay.
that he's trying to remain calm and collected while holding an assault rifle.
Yeah.
Whilst trying to get that. He said it was just a misunderstanding. He didn't want to hurt anyone, and he just wanted someone to
I
get his
think it's
son.
very reasonable for them to misunderstand that.
Yeah. It's just, I think.
And I hope he got
If
arrested.
you were
'cause
a
that's
teacher at a
ridiculous.
school and a parent, even if you knew him, was walking towards you with an AK-47,
Yeah.
you're allowed to shoot on sight, right?
Yeah.
You'd be like, no, fuck you, get away from
100%.
these kids.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether he was a parent or not. So they probably didn't even know he was a parent. Saw
Yeah.
some guy walking towards school with a gun, assault rifle in his pocket.
Yeah.
I think there's some implication that it might have been like a smaller version of the AK-47, but they say
just a
it's an
little gun.
AK-47.
It's a small gun.
It's like a machine pistol.
Yeah.
But that's not an AK-47, as far as I know. But I think they allude to that. But
Carrying
even
a
then,
gun and being like, I've
Exactly.
come to address the children.
yeah,
Have you?
My kid's crying.
Yeah.
Okay, you gonna shoot his tears away?
Turn to the side.
There's a weird. Guns are guns. But what do you know? What the deal is about a 21 gun salute when like police officer dies?
No, I
I'm
don't.
gonna shoot-
I've heard of it.
We're
and
gonna
I've seen
take
it.
it out on the sky.
Yeah.
Fuck you,
All
Sky.
21 of us.
times. Yeah, maybe 21 is representative of
Is
something.
it 21 people or is it 21 shots?
I think it's 21 shots, which is why you have I think you have 7 people shooting 3 times.
Oh, right.
Not just one guy just shooting for a minute. Bang!
Yeah.
Bang!
Or just one guy with an Uzi.
Yeah. Oh, it's 22. Oh, start again. Yeah, he didn't want to hurt anybody. He just wanted to talk to somebody. And I've got an AK-47.
Very reasonable. I suppose it's a good way to avoid the queue.
The queue to the school for the
Reception.
adults.
Yeah.
But, there's a lot of different miscommunications, segue, and it can it's kind of weird how it happens. Amazon,
Yeah.
they, apparently it's very easy to get something stupid sold on Amazon, I
believe that. I've seen some of the books on there.
how to, yeah. And apparently recently they removed books that teach autistic children can have their autism treated with bleach. It doesn't sound right.
Yeah, no. that's not
But
real.
yeah, there's genuine. Well, apparently there's genuine people who believe that you can just treat autism with bleach.
It sounds like someone on 4chan was like,
You know, maybe
this will be fun.
Maybe, but
You can put
kind of
anyone can publish an ebook on.
Well,
Amazon.
there's people believe a lot of strange shit. I mean,
Yeah.
And I believe that yes, sometimes people can go bleach. Maybe that bleach will cure the lack of eye contact. I don't, autism on some level. It's just strange. But despite them taking down these, I think they've removed a couple of books. Sky News found the site still stocks books which falsely link vaccinations to autism, and they go on to say, "I just requested to publish my book, which is how to cure autism by using bleach," and that got accepted. So it's the same problem with like YouTube, where it's just like they've got so much traffic,
Yeah,
that they're just kind of
How do
like,
you
okay,
govern
yeah,
this?
great, brilliant, okay,
Yeah,
brilliant,
yeah, yeah.
and it's just that you can't really check.
it automatically goes in until someone makes a complaint.
Yeah, and it's so subjective, because what if it doesn't teach about bleach, but bleach is a metaphor for something and it's in the book?
Yeah,
Does that mean that they have to read everything that they sell? You kind of go, yeah, should do. Someone should check it.
well,
But it's a marketplace.
that's the thing. They're not a publisher. They're a market.
Yeah, they're just selling stuff. And then now they have to stop selling everything. Like,
Yeah.
Don't sell absolutely everything. Only sell a few little things. But yeah, among the treatments which the book suggested were ones involving chlorine dioxide, which is often fraudulently marketed as miracle mineral supplement.
Bastards.
Bleach.
Bleach.
It's a miracle mineral. Oh, the miracle. It burns. It burns.
The miracle of chemical burns.
Which have apparently been told to cure stuff from cancer all the way down to AIDS. Two of the books that were listed on the site: Healing the Symptoms
AIDS.
Known as Autism. Yeah, bleach. Why not?
Bleach. Yeah.
Another book that they published was called Fight Autism and Win, which I find hilarious.
Yeah.
Does that mean that people are fighting autism and losing?
Well,
And how do you win against a disease?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you cure it, I guess.
Yeah.
But it just sounds like you're punching autistic kids in the face.
does.
How to win against
shooting
autistic
them.
children. Yeah, or AK-47, not
Yeah.
wanting to harm anybody. It's all fine. Amazon Kindle automatically created a book for them. And yeah, someone tried to just post, what can I just publish anything? And yeah, it was something along the lines of, the cure for autism, we use bleach to cure autism. It was like the test thing to see if they would get through.
Right.
It got through, or Amazon published a cover for it, which said it was approved by the US Food and Drug Administration on the cover that they generated. So
Right.
again, that's like, if it's medical, we'll say it's just approved. Or if they tick a box saying it's approved, we'll put it on there. So obviously, a little bit of quality control needs to be done.
yeah.
Because you can't really just have that, because then people will just sue them for doing it, I guess. But yeah, Miracle Solution, it is an industrial bleach that could cause serious harms to health, and they recommend consumers should stop using it immediately and throw it away. Is what the FDA has said about that product. And they've ended up on the cover of this thing, so bit funky, bit weird.
Yeah.
Don't treat people with bleach.
No. Not unless they're really dirty, I guess.
Even then,
Even then,
Not bleach.
water it down.
just water, yeah.
Yeah.
Just water. You'd be fine with just water.
Yeah.
If you showered with just water, you'd probably be better off than if you didn't shower. You just wouldn't be as good off as if you used soap.
Yeah.
Use soap.
Well, like we used to just use water.
Yeah. If that.
There
We used to
wasn't
use
soap.
flowers.
What?
A nosegay.
What?
Was like, yeah, women would carry around a nosegay, which is a bouquet of flowers that covered their BO.
I've never heard that before.
Have you not heard of it? Yeah,
No.
a nosegay. So there would be a bunch of flowers with a strong aroma that they'd carry around to mask their body odor.
But surely that's
In the old days.
that's a sign for how much you reek.
Well, everyone reeked.
Oh right, okay.
It wasn't just
Yeah.
like Susan. It wasn't just Susan that reeked. Like nobody washed.
Yeah.
So it was just like, oh, we all smell, but she smells like flowers for now. So
Yeah.
that's fine.
yeah.
Yeah, it's called a nosegay. I swear. Action news. Something incredible happened. Not as incredible.
No lions. No.
No lions.
No tigers.
There have been them, but they haven't made it to the final cut.
Ah.
They've just been like, it is big cat news, but it's big cat news just kind of, a little bit.
Yeah. It's small cat.
Yeah. But a 39-year-old man in Australia has been arrested after allegedly firing an arrow at another man who stopped it with his phone. What? Although it wasn't quite like that. Like, he was pulling into his house, and he saw that there was a man stringing a bow and arrow at him.
Yeah.
So he like started taking a video. It was like, thump! I was like, wow, it's really realistic.
Really lifelike. Yeah, the camera on these things is great.
Yeah, it went through and hit him in the chin, but
Wow.
like the phone took the brunt of it.
Yeah.
So like he was saved by his phone.
That's ridiculous.
And it was just like, I think it was a friend just standing. This is a mate.
Yeah, I mean, you can get bow and arrows that'll go through fucking walls.
Railgun bow and arrows. Yeah, he saw another man who he knows standing outside his home with a bow and arrow. He lifted up his phone to take a photo, which prompted the attacker to engage the bow and fire the arrow. I'll give you a photo.
Yeah.
To be fair, pretty good photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was taken to a police station and charged with armed with intent to commit an indictable offence. What does that mean?
Yeah. Did you not?
You're trying to commit something of which you could be indicted.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was trying to.
really?
He was
fired an arrow at
essentially
his mate,
shooting
at
a guy in the face.
Yeah. Assault, occasioning actual bodily harm and malicious damage. Weird name for the crime.
Occasionally, there's
occasionally.
actual bodily harm.
Yeah, in a weird
Only
way.
occasionally.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I think. I'll see if we can burn through this because this is obviously. I thought this was going to be much more than it was. Right. Let's bring it down.
Okay.
So-
Lowering the energy in the room.
There has been
NPR voices.
There has been a tragedy in New Zealand this week.
Yes.
Where 50 people lost their lives, and it was an attack at a mosque. Very tragic event. But who is this? This is the Independent. Released.
Here we are for a measured response.
No, that's not even that. It's they released an article which I think was obviously just like scheduled ages ago, just to bring it out every now and then about how to react to Islamophobia. And unfortunately, this came out like just after this, what some may call an Islamophobic terrorist attack.
Yeah.
As in they attacked a mosque. And it's titled, "Everyone should read this guide about what to do if you see Islamophobia. For those who do witness Islamophobia, there's a number of things you can do." Someone's created a guide about what to do. She based her strategy on non-complimentary behaviour. Don't compliment them. A concept in psychology which aims to disrupt an oppressive connection a potential attacker is attempting to establish with a target. So, this is good advice if you see someone yelling at someone on a bus.
Yeah.
It's not good advice in a mosque shooting.
No.
But try it. Step 1, talk to the victim and ignore the attacker. How you doing?
Yeah.
Are you okay? Is everything fine?
Yeah.
Do that. 2, talk about something random. Jeez, what's the deal? What's the deal with this gunman, eh? I mean,
This sounds like the Darren Brown disruption kind of thing.
Yeah, just take them out of the element of what's going on. Which again would work on a bus, but just not related to a shooting. Like
No.
if you're in a shooting, this is not what you should do.
No.
So don't post this
Probably
afterwards.
run away.
Yeah. Number 3, continue to engage the Muslim man or woman in conversation, building a safe space as you ignore the attacker. Get some sandbags. You know, don't mind us. We're just doing something over here. It's fine. And then stay with them until the attacker leaves and escort them to a neutral area.
Yeah.
So, good advice in general life. And I guess you could say that they're trying to promote less hate crimes and how to tackle more hate crimes.
Yeah.
But because this very specifically was posted right after a terrorist attack, you go, no, this terrible advice for that. Never. Don't just walk into a firefight talking about something random to try and, and whilst ignoring the gunman who's telling you to get down.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No. Realistically, I probably wouldn't be in a mosque, and I wouldn't even be in a church. But let's suggest I'm in a church, and I see some guys enter on the other end, like 50 feet away at the door, with guns and stuff. Yeah. I'm not going to start wandering up to them and be like, "Hey, how's it going?
How's it going? What's the deal?"
Yeah.
Have you seen the news?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good advice if you're on the bus because I've seen because
we're about to sing "Come All Ye Faithful."
Would you like to join in?
Yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of. And I do agree with the advice in certain circumstances, but just not in this. Don't do this. It's a weird time to post it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's loads of times when like aggression and argument and all that kind of those kind of people. I mean, we do a LARP thing, which is a live action role play. We do that a couple of times a year. And I happen to be dressed up as a massive gorilla, angry gorilla demon. And that is being topless but painted with body paint to look like a gorilla. And when we do that, it's always fun to go to Asda and get some drinks and food.
Yeah.
And like I've seen one of these cases, I've seen someone yelling at one of the cashiers.
Did you get asked to leave? Someone got asked to leave.
Yeah, I got asked to leave.
It was you.
And I was I was very in character at the time. So I role played the shit out of it.
Yeah.
But it's all fine. We're all friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, you see a lot of these little moments where the way that the verbal abuse goes, they're trying to like narrow the world in the victim to kind of be like, it's just you and me here. And it's me, I just love, because I'm overly confident and not afraid of death for stupid reasons. I'm just like, I'm here too.
Yeah.
And in that occasion, this guy was yelling at a cashier, like saying like abusive things to her from like, we were like 4th and 5th in line.
Yeah.
He was in front of me. He didn't realize there was a gorilla behind him. He was just yelling all this shit. And I just announced myself to be there. Yeah. And he kind of turned around and got really freaked out. But just the fact that I reminded them that they're the world around them. It's like, I'm here too. Yeah. I'm painted black.
I'm
covered
chaos.
in fur. Yeah, I don't mind. I've been really looking forward to headbutting somebody today. I'd love it for you to be you. But the fact that I took him out of his the abusers out of his abusive safe space where he felt he was in control, was like, no, there's a gorilla behind you. So definitely agree with the advice in that context.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seemed like the worst advice to give to victims in a shooting. So don't do that.
Yeah. No. No, not at all.
Wise. In other news, empty coffins representing the Ethiopian victims of last week's Ethiopia Airlines plane crash have been buried in the capital. I left the punchline out of that, so let's just sit with it. I'll try and find the punchline real quick. Some relatives, basically, they were given charred earth instead of the bodies of the loved ones. Because they're still recovering the bodies.
Oh, right.
People
just
still
have
need
some dirt.
They still need to do burials. They're giving them specifically charred earth.
Yeah.
Here's your son.
Jeez. That's weird. Like, if you'd go down more route of memorabilia, so you give them like the black box or like a bit of a wing.
But yeah, they're just using empty coffins to kind of go through it because it's taking so long to do it.
That happens a lot though. Like they do that with people who've been like lost at sea.
Yeah. Some relatives, that's just dark, were really sad. They climbed onto the coffins. Yeah, some family members have been given charred earth from the crash site to help remember their loved ones. Oh, he was always a bit of charred earth.
Oh, it looks just like him.
Oh, he's still really lumpy. He's about that big.
Remember when he wanted to be coffee grounds?
It just seems brutal.
Yeah.
The BBC's Kalkidan Yebeltal in Addis Ababa said that the temporary death certificates were issued ahead of Sunday's
temporary death certificates. He's only.
He might get better.
Yeah. Yeah. Here he is.
Plant him in the earth.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll grow back.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, temporary death certificates because they need the body to assign confirm. A legitimate one.
Yeah.
So they're just giving like just temporary, which implies that maybe they won't be dead.
Yeah.
Maybe its death is only temporary. I don't know. There was another bit that I must have edited out, but it was something on the lines of the families of the victims were like, even if you just give us a few body parts, that would help us. It was like, maybe, I guess, when you think about it, maybe that would help the grief process.
That's what happens when they bury
to give
people,
you that closure.
When oftentimes if so someone's been like badly injured, like horrifically, like we covered some kind of theme parky kind of stuff where people had been awfully kind of injured in the machinery and stuff. They will just kind of put what's left of them. Yeah. And it's like, well, it's something.
Exactly.
You get an idea that there's some part of their soul that was in that at some point.
Yeah, and it is. It's supposed to be a lot more traumatic to kind of not have that closure physical evidence of like there's no body.
I know that feels kind of like instinctive.
Maybe.
That feels like that's something kind of deep within you. It's like, well, I haven't seen them, so I need to keep looking.
Yeah. So, I mean, charred earth, I guess, kind of maybe helps that. It's tragic, but it seems weird that the government's doing it.
I see the resemblance. Yeah.
It's weird that that's the government doing something to help. Here's some charred earth. Not normal earth, charred. Why? Because of all the fuel fire that probably occurred. There you go. It's all great. And on a high note, England's running out of water. In about 25 years, we'll have no water.
We're an island.
Other news. It's all going to go.
The sea is all going to...
They're all gone. I'll read it. A combination of climate change and population growth are pushing the country towards what Sir James Bevan referred to as the jaws of death. James, have you got anything to say on this water drought? Yeah, I've got something to say.
Yeah.
The jaws of death. Jimmy, and we're going to run out of water. Yes.
Fucking go to your son's school with an AK-47 with that mouth.
At this point, unless urgent action is taken, there's not going to be enough water to supply basic needs to the population. So I guess like clean water is a thing. Maybe run out of clean water.
Yeah.
Because you'll always have dirty water, and you can always use dirty water in some
regard. They clean it and reuse it, but maybe it's all not water is reused. It's the water cycle.
Yeah, but I guess if it's like, if the population is growing so fast, we're wasting so much clean water, eventually it's not going to be able to catch up to it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there is a stupid amount of water, like ridiculous amount of water. More so, I think potentially more than we actually use, that goes away through leaks in pipes that are never seen and never maintained, and nobody cares.
Yeah, I mean, they go on to say that we should just, improve our perception of water and not wasting it, and, like you say, proper management of it. James says that in the last few decades, we've radically changed behaviour on smoking. Everyone used to smoke. And seatbelts. Nobody used to wear seatbelts. And in the last 2 years, we've changed behaviour on plastics. So the idea in the world has also changed.
Yeah, so
we need water wastage to be as socially unacceptable as blowing smoke in the face of a baby. He spilt some water. He's blowing smoke in the face of a baby. James, chill. Chill out, mate.
No, I think that's wrong. I think it should be socially unacceptable as littering. I think that's more reasonable.
Wasting water,
littering is food. Socially unacceptable. Yeah. But it's not like he's going to kill that baby. He's trying to give that baby a disease
because he spilt some water. Yeah. Seems like an extreme thing. But
also how do you treat a baby then when it's like trying to get water in its mouth and it ends up throwing it all over itself and
smoke it somehow?
That baby is a waste of life.
That baby is blowing smoke in the face of itself. James, what do you think? It's the jaws of death.
Very dramatic, James.
It's so dramatic. He's a sir. That means like he's got land or something, isn't it? No, don't be that dramatic and own land. Right? Yeah. Chill out.
Thank God we're at a point in life where this baby can be considered evil.
Yeah. But yeah, just a nice little... Oh, by the way, we're running out of water.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
Very good.
That'll be fine. We actually got some news.
Oh, God. Pulling teeth, waiting room.
Yeah.
Tell your story. Questions, stories, and confessions.
Yeah. The audience participation section of the site. I've been reaching out to a few different people. We spoke before about Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
We did.
Then last week we spoke about the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And I want to get my information from more podcasts, partly to prove my own belief that there is a podcast about everything.
Yeah.
So therefore there should be at least someone who's at least more interested than me in something somewhere elsewhere. So I found a podcast called Ranger Danger. Sounds great.
Oh, God.
Unfortunately, they haven't responded. But I am chasing them up because there's quite a few Power Ranger podcasts, but there is no way in hell that I'm not getting my answers from Ranger Danger. They've got they still publish stuff, but I think maybe they just haven't checked their messages for a while. So we're on. And I have asked them, what's the deal with the massive face? Is it the Christian embodiment of God?
Yeah. That's
the big thing. That and, did anyone care about the races versus the colours of the suits? So, we'll see whether they find out about that. But Ranger Danger, we've asked, we want answers. I want to figure it out. No pressure. Right?
Yeah.
And the other thing, we've actually had some emails through for people suggesting articles that we might find funny and weird. Which kind of fits in with what we were talking earlier about people doing weird things in order to, we might have spoken about it before, but it's becoming more and more acceptable to use circumcised penises for beauty.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Apparently Korea is exporting baby foreskin so that Americans can use them in facial enhancement treatments. And it's just like, why is it Korea? Like, it feels weird that I never thought of Korea as like the circumcision Mecca. If anything, which the listener pointed out, Mecca is the circumcision Mecca of Mecca.
This is potentially racially insensitive, but why not? There is
We're experiencing technical difficulties. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. But there's a stereotype about kind of Eastern Asian people where they look kind of like very young, and they always look young. So maybe there's something in that kind of bullshit where they're like, well, if I use
secrets in the foreskin,
if I use Eastern foreskins,
right,
then anti-aging.
Well, I think I reckon circumcision it's such a strange concept. If you look at it under the light bulb, it's just
there's no benefit to it.
No,
none.
It's purely...
And for a long time, people were like, "Oh no, it's for hygiene reasons.
It stops sand,
like
clothes."
Why do you think it's there? Because sand isn't meant to be there.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where it's just like it's a culturally accepted form of, if you want to go extreme, genital mutilation.
Yeah, it's not. I don't
think the babies. Yeah, I think there's an argument for it, but you can't really say it's also socially acceptable if it's that.
No, okay, so I agree.
It doesn't hinder.
In the strictest sense of the word, yes, it is. But in comparison to the female alternative, no, it isn't. Yeah, like it's an inconvenience.
It's definitely not female genital mutilation.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, but I guess I find it strange that people are so focused on their face. I reckon it's just, especially because this is all like celebrity culture.
Yeah.
And then it's breeding into people who have the kind of image problem where they want to always look the same way and go under surgeries and all these kind of things to try and remain looking young because of the value that they believe is placed on looking young or being good looking. And it just feels like it's a strange atmosphere or climate to try and argue against because there's so many different factors at play. But if you go like, look, just remove the beauty. I mean, Sandra Bullock is one of the people who's like advocating this and trying to push it and recommend it to people. And it's like, you're a successful actress or actor. Like, what is that not good enough? Oh, well, the industry, once you reach a certain age, then you don't do that. It's like, well, then make your own industry. Do something different. They put the value of themselves on how other people value them. Right. I think at the end of the day, and you just go like, well, fuck everyone because everyone's stupid. Just like figure out what you like and then figure out how to do it.
Yeah, but it's also that like I think in that industry there is a lot of pressure to look look as you did 20 years ago because that's what made you famous.
But
so
then
like,
you just go like, well, then fuck that industry.
Exactly. Yeah.
But obviously, it's an easy thing for me to say.
It's easy if you're outside of it. So no, I get the obsession. I don't think it's anyone's fault in the same way that I don't think a particular culture is any one person's fault. It might take someone to spark an idea or something, but generally we've all kind of come to accept that we like attractive people.
Yeah.
That's how it works. So if you are in that industry and the chances are you have to be an attractive person.
Yeah,
and
that once
involves
you've been treated that way,
youthful and and maintaining the point where you were the most attractive in your life.
Yeah, and if that starts to change, you start to become more and more addicted to try and get back into that place.
Yeah,
and it just becomes more and more strange because you're fighting against a lot of things, and to the point where you're like, chop off those penises in Korea.
Yeah,
and give them to my face.
And there's generally more pressure on women in that scenario because men are generally fussier about what they find attractive on the whole.
Yeah, in the entertainment industry, there's kind of the belief that men get more attractive with age, or can get away with naturally aging, and women cannot.
I mean, there's exceptions to the rule.
But yeah, it's just a weird thing. I think it's another one of those things where you go, like, the industry itself of entertainment is so strangely corrupt and everything that it's like, stop trying to appease them and try and create something new. But that's just a whole massive change the world.
Yeah.
Like, so where do you start? What do you do?
So the fact that a product like this exists, in a really sad way, it doesn't surprise me, but it doesn't make it any less fucking weird.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those things where you go, like, if people had negative views about doing this kind of surgery on babies, it would be horrific. But because people love it, they're like, brilliant. Yeah, put it in your face. It's kind of strange.
Yeah.
What's the difference between that and putting baby blood in your face?
Yeah.
For me, that's kind of the same thing, right? It's like, yeah, but people wouldn't want to put baby blood in their face, but they'll put decapitated penises or whatever, or however you want to describe it. It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
We've got a few more in this segment as well, which is returning, so get ready.
Okay. Oh, quick fire segment. With a picture of a seagull.
It's quick. It's a seagull taking a chip and running away. I've got the chip, run! So there's a few quickfire ones. A man charged with dipping his testicles in salsa still thinks the prank is funny.
Charged?
Yeah, he's being taken to court.
Someone else's salsa.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it was like delivery.
Arrest that man!
Yeah, he dipped his bollocks in it and then was like, gave him to the customer, and then they saw the video online and they took him to court. And he's just in court laughing.
Well, what else are you going to do? It's like, yeah, I've been caught.
Yeah.
Are you going to give me less of a punishment if I show remorse? Probably not.
Well, he's now required to attend 90 drug and alcohol counselling sessions and pay a $10 fine.
Is he an alcoholic? $10?
Salsa-aholic? Counselling, I guess, for salsa testicle-induced. I don't know, but $10 fine, I'd laugh.
Yeah. Here you go.
Another quickfire one. Police have been mulling the possible reasons for why someone stole a dog poo bin. They just don't know why he stole it.
Yeah.
Someone stole the dog shit bin.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
Was it full?
We don't know.
We don't know. Oh.
So they want the bin back. They're just not that bothered about the contents, they've said.
They're planning something.
Yeah, they're organising something. Another quickfire news. NASA has issued space herpes warning as virus reactivates in astronauts.
Space herpes.
Space herpes is back!
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So it's like herpes, but like anti-gravity.
Well, apparently... Apparently, your immune system gets weaker in space.
So until it gets weaker and weaker,
you get space herpes.
Yeah, become a herpes.
The stress on the body of spaceflight is believed to contribute to suppressing the immune system and helping the virus to grow. According to the agency, while only a small proportion of the astronauts develop symptoms as a result of the dormant virus while awakening, it could spell danger for longer spaceflight missions, for instance, to Mars. Oh, can't go to Mars. I got space herpes.
If I had space herpes, I'd put that on my CV.
I went to space and all I got was herpes.
Yeah. Space herpes?
Not normal herpes.
No.
Yeah. No, I can't go to Mars.
Yeah. Can only get these herpes in orbit.
That's like, there's so much thought about what do you do, what's the problem, why haven't we gone to Mars yet? And it's like, oh, fuel, life, time.
Yeah.
Herpes was never a big consideration. But kind of, yeah, it's kind of a real thing. And lastly, John Lomas, 38, altered his name to John Michael Jackson by deed poll because he was a superfan. Now he wants to change it back.
Oh, because of nothing.
Because of lots more people than were before, who were still a lot of people, claimed that Michael Jackson had a lewd past of paedophiling.
Yeah.
So,
a verb.
A verb. He was verby. If there was anyone who could moonwalk a verb, it would be Michael Jackson, moonwalking paedophiling. So yeah, that's me for the quickfire news. That's all me. Morse code. Michael Jackson from beyond the grave.
I'm not a paedophile.
It's not a verb.
That's his complaint.
It's not a verb, it's a noun. That was the GoPro die again. We should. I should figure out a way to keep it charging.
Yeah, just a scum this week.
Oh, okay.
Are you
Yeah.
Steve's collection of useless
happening, Steve?
meanderings. Man having a heart attack.
Scum.
Still dying. Oh, no, it stopped. That went on for a bit. Yeah. It seems like a heart attack.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a heart attack. Well, how do you feel about... Because I'm finding them funnier and funnier, but they're so nothing to do with Scum. It's more that you haven't made one, so I'm going to make one for you. And if I'm going to make one for you...
It's just going to be this.
It's going to be, oh, God, why is it this?
Scum on the face.
It's that horrible stage energy that I have thrown into videos.
Scum. A verb.
Yeah.
Black kite firehawks are birds that deliberately spread fires in Australia by carrying burning twigs in their beaks and talons and dropping them in areas in order to start new fires and drive out insects.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Starting fires.
Don't they eat insects?
Yeah, to drive them out of hiding.
Oh.
So you start the fire and then the smoke and all the insects like, oh, fuck this, and they get out of their burrows. And mammals and, like, mice, like, go fucking running and then they spot them from the air.
Drop some
amongst
fire
the
on their
plumes of smoke.
It's the Vietnam of the animal kingdom.
Yeah, the napalm birds.
Yeah. What were you at? I just want a mouse.
Yeah. One mouse, 12 acres.
Yeah.
Derek, you dick. I found this weird. When Queen Elizabeth II dies, the BBC will cancel all comedy programmes for 12 days.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I covered it a while ago.
Did you?
Yeah, because I think someone was talking about it. I was like, that seems to be weird. Yeah, all comedy the people stop on the BBC. I thought it was like 10 or something days.
Right, so if she dies, we cannot be funny.
You can't watch the Tweenies.
Just out of respect. Like, we have to be all serious.
Yeah.
And I actually think, after all of 100 and God knows what hours of this shit, that would potentially be even funnier.
Yeah. Now we're serious. Why? Because an old lady died.
Yeah.
Serious. It's weird. People's attitudes towards the royal family are weird. I know some people who... I don't know how serious.
Yeah.
But joking about... Because one of the new wives of one of the princes was an actress...
Meghan Markle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always get her confused with the German Prime Minister.
Angela Merkel.
One of those.
Yeah.
Was in the TV series Suits.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, they should really like blacklist that show because obviously it shows the royal family in a negative light. And like if they did that,
no,
or if they enforced this rule of no comedy for 10 days, they'd look so fragile and so pathetic.
Yeah.
You go like, don't do that. It would do so much more harm to your reputation than anything else.
Like,
have a funeral and a state thing and a parade. Not parade's a weird word, but like, you know, a big silencing thing like Princess Diana.
Yeah.
But, you know, don't have to control what people listen to.
Yeah. And the weird thing that I actually find quite fitting about that whole relationship is that modern royalty is just fame.
Yeah.
It's fame to the point where people are worshipped. So it makes sense that he would marry into celebrity.
Yeah.
So why block that out? Like it's all a big metaphor.
But it's that whole thing of trying to preserve the seriousness of the royal family.
Yeah, but why? But he's already dressed as a Nazi. That was hilarious.
That was great. But yeah, no laughing for 10 days or 12 days.
12 days.
No laughing.
I don't know why 12.
And then on the BBC.
Yeah.
Well,
it's just the BBC. It's not like ITV can still be as funny as they want.
Yeah, Channel 4 can still rip the piss out of everything.
Yeah.
Just the BBC. No.
Nothing is funny anymore.
Be weird because the BBC owns a lot of radio stations.
Yeah, so all the people who are like radio
no
personalities, it'd just be like listening to the news for 2 weeks.
Just no laughter. All those BBC radio personalities be like,
now,
shut up.
The Smiths. Here's a claim that I didn't look into at all, but it sounds weird. Photosynthesis is most likely so efficient because plants evolved to use quantum mechanics.
Well, we've tried, triple mechanics. We've tried the parallel universes, but that didn't work.
Yeah.
Now we need quantum.
Yeah.
Isn't quantum like a type of engine oil?
Which I don't know.
Quantum.
The car's disappeared.
It's photosynthesized.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so apparently it's within a way that they store energy, and it's something that we're now trying to do with computer chips to make them faster.
But there's that whole... I mean, there was a thing about... I think it was some kind of moth or cricket. There was something mathematical about it in that they learned to only breed every 3 years or some weird number of months. And by doing that, they confuse all the predators so they don't know when they're going to come out and be fed upon. And people are saying,
because if
maths.
you don't do it yearly,
the animals aren't
you don't get
around
into
now
a
something's
pattern.
going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's some kind of... I think that's what it's called.
That's interesting.
And the people saying that they figured out maths. It's like, no, and it's not by design. They just coincidentally it works. And it kind of works in that way.
Yeah, something environmental at some point will have caused one of these to do it.
Yeah.
And then
they were more successful.
So evolution, etc., etc. The plants aren't in the lab, trying to work out quantum mechanics.
It just kind of worked.
You need CERN, do you? We just need leaves.
Leaves in the sun. And we'll be fine. But there's a whole weird attitude towards maths that I still don't get. There must be a term for it. It's that old same thing. You get these mathematical problems that have two answers based on an assumption. So what? It's like if you have I think we spoke about it before. If you have 3 choices at a game show, and you get to choose one, and then the host asks if you want to change your mind. What should you do?
You should apparently always change your mind.
Right, and it's like no, it's
it's a thing.
I don't want to open up that door.
No,
because maths and me aren't friends. But it depends it's how you interpret the information gives you different answers.
Yeah,
and both answers are correct if you're both assuming something that isn't being described.
Yeah.
Because in that example, they're saying, well, the host would only ask you to switch your answer if A and B. And you go like, well, no, if the problem is, then you're offered a change of choice no matter what, it makes no difference.
Yeah.
So people look at maths problems in different ways and make assumptions in different ways. And some people probably did go, that plant's a quantum mechanist. Mechanist?
Yeah.
Florist. Quantum florist. What's it got? Yeah. Do you want to go into my shop? Well, you have to be quick.
Yeah. Well, on Thursdays I'm on Mars. So.
Great sunshine. Great.
Yeah. Very cold.
Yeah. Loads of herpes. Growing herpes.
That's very quantum-looking herpes.
Quantum florist. Dun, 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 dun. What was that? Captain
Scarlet. He's got into retirement. He's just like herpes. I always just wanted to retire and open a florist that's sold
open
herpes.
A herpes in another dimension.
Yeah.
Captain Scarlet, you herpes spreading motherfucker.
Yeah. Nose K? No. After having an emotionally negative experience, dogs will stay up at night thinking about what happened.
Only negative. They only dwell on the sad parts.
Yeah. What went wrong?
Where did the ball go?
Yeah. I often think I can see sadness in a dog's eyes when something's when it loses something that it was eating or something like that. Yeah, like they're just very expressive.
Yeah, there's one thing I learned, which is apparently they give a really deep, depressing sigh. Apparently, that they go like.
Yeah, I've heard that quite a bit.
And my dog does do it. Apparently, it's just a relaxing thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you go in bed and get in a big go, oh, that's what they're doing. But when you're like...
It does feel
how depressed is this dog?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and you do definitely see, expressions on them experiencing different things. But I always thought it was just kind of concern.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's the first time I've owned a dog. I've always been the dog's friend.
Yeah.
Before. I don't want to catch
learning
space
from that conference.
yeah. The bestiality conference, which we unfortunately weren't able to cover. But in the future, any future bestiality conferences, I'm hoping to be there.
Yeah, we'll have a booth.
We're not joking. Something we want to do. So being the owner, I feel like there is a certainly strange, different relationship. As opposed to being the dog's like good friend or someone who visits you like really loved. It's always, there is a strange relationship of like in the trenches kind of relationship.
Yeah.
Where the dog's like, you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Right, we're good. Now what do we want to do?
Yeah.
Whereas it's like, if someone else is like, let's play all the time. Whereas like, if it's like, do you want to play? I mean, we're friends, we're in the trenches, but we've got time to play, right? Yeah, great.
Yeah.
But there's this weird feeling of another level of kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I don't see the sadness as much because I think she's more just like, we're good.
Yeah.
But we'd see friends like, we're bad. I don't know where my ball is. You deal with this. We're okay.
Oh, and finally, Nigerian scammers sold a fake airport for $242 million. You know those emails that you get?
Yeah. This is $242 million, please.
Yeah.
Sure.
For a whole airport? And the planes? Yeah, sure.
In where? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
So
this
if
one's got a blimp.
just post it into my, my Bitcoin wallet. We'll be fine.
Yeah. I know Bitcoin, very traceable, very reliable currency. Here you go, $242 million.
I was actually going to link that into something. The foreskin facial stuff feels like that's tapping into the same market as like those Nigerian scammers of people really paranoid about something they're ashamed of.
Yeah.
Because as I said, I've been speaking to more and more people, and like I've asked like, do you get this spam message? And one person was like, yeah. It really freaked me out. Like I was like really worried. It's like,
really?
Yeah, and I was just like, well, the only reason that is that we were talking about before about you can shake someone's fear if you know where it is.
Yeah.
Anything can shake someone up, and obviously they were something who was very paranoid about, I guess, what they were viewing on the internet.
They were insecure about it.
Yeah, and they're so afraid of people knowing something that they're like tapping into that fear. I mean, I don't know how insecure you have to be to want to buy an airport, but there must be something. But yeah, just anything. It's so strange. There's like, what's that? 5-point exploding heart technique in Killing Bill.
Oh, yeah.
There's just that, but for porn sites and airports. and foreskins.
Yeah.
Just feels like a weird, where you're desperately trying to, you're so ashamed of something, you're desperately trying to keep it away, and you'll do anything. You'll pay, was it $1,000 for that email? You'll get a beauty therapist to milk a baby's foreskin for you.
Ugh.
So that they can put it in your face, or you'll open up Terminal 5, I guess, in the Nigerian airport that you bought on the internet. Yeah, human beings, they've all got their vices.
Yeah.
They've all got their baggage. Some people need a whole place to store all the baggage, like an airport.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a high note to end on.
Yeah.
So yeah, another, what number was that?
129.
9. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And it's only getting warmer in this room.
Oh, it's fucking roasted.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, 129. It's been pretty good. Yeah, if you want to get in touch, if you want to do anything with us, it's all for fun. Like, I've seen a lot of people post stuff about, hey, let's do a crossover thing, and it's purely for promotional purposes.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's only a side effect, if anything.
Yeah.
Really. We're just interested in talking to everybody and seeing what people want to do. So, yeah.
Nice to like be let out of the room.
Yeah, get outside. Yeah, we've started getting some emails, so that's always really nice.
Yeah,
always really appreciated. I've tried doing the Apple iTunes review.
Apparently, it doesn't work.
Doesn't
no.
work. Yeah,
not
just
for you.
Didn't allow me to do it.
No, we don't want anybody to express an opinion on your shit.
Yeah, so if that is an issue, then you can comment on the YouTube channel.
Yeah,
that'd be something, an interesting way to get in touch with us. And we're going to be on Spotify soon.
Yeah, that should be up within the next few days.
Yeah, so it would be another interesting thing to play around with, see what people want to do with. So yeah, get in touch, message us.
100%.
We want to do more stuff.
Yeah.
So I've started using the podcast Twitter account to try and promote as well. So give us a follow, give us a tweet. We're at Pulling Teeth Pod.
Yeah.
I'm at Nick Snip, but at the moment, probably more at Pulling Teeth Pod is the best place to get me.
I'm at Sing It Steve. I'm not going to say anything to you unless you say something to me first, because I don't really go on there. But I get notifications, so if you want to chat and you talk to me, then I will definitely respond. Yeah,
and the podcast email, which I'm monitoring still, I'm trying to be more monitoring of, is wisdom@pullingteethpodcast.com.
Yeah.
And the Facebook page, Pulling Teeth Podcast, is always good. And we try and get stuff in the chat rooms. Mm-hmm. You've had some feedback, haven't you? But just from concerned friends who have heard things about you on the podcast.
Yeah. Well, apparently, I say apparently, it's because I didn't really talk to anyone. But the podcast broke the news that I now had no job. This just in, Steve might be unhappy.
I mean, he seems fine. He's laughing at that crying toddler. So episode 129, pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty nice. Yeah, see you next week.
See you next week.